Greetings and welcome to On the Table. We're broadcasting on RTM Click and MyTV's Berita RTM channel 123, which is also live streaming on YouTube. I'm your host, Otto Othman. On tonight's episode, in the next 30 minutes, we'll be discussing the untapped potential of Malaysia's business events industry, strategies for growth and also competitiveness. Now, we welcome to the studio Dato' Dr. M. Gandhi, President of the Malaysian Association of Convention and Exhibitions Organisers, and of course, MACEOS. It's called MACEOS, so thank you very much for coming to the studios, Dato'. Now, you have been in this industry for more than 30 years. And the establishment of MACEOS since 1990. And you have more than 200 over corporate members. How does it feel to be organizing? And this is your first term until 2026. How does it feel?
I have been in this industry for so many decades. And I think it's time to also give back to the industry that built me. So I feel very proud that the industry has requested me to be the president of this association, to share my experience, knowledge, and bring the whole industry together and take it to the next level. Mm-hmm. And I'm very proud and also gifted to have a fantastic committee with me that is helping us to take the business events industry to the next level for Malaysia.
Mm-hmm. Now, Dato', you are the president of the Malaysian Association of Convention and Exhibition Organisers and Suppliers, MACEOS, and also a meeting incentive convention and exhibition, MICE, is that correct? Now, with regards to organizations and all that, in light of the recent Malaysia Business Event Week, how do you see the growing connection of technology and business events transforming the industry? And also, more importantly, how might this evolution drive a more sustainable event?
If we look at technology is now given in any industry, any sector that people are operating, we must apply technology. I can see there is a link between technology and sustainability. For example, one of our members, the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre, is able to calculate the carbon footprint of each event in terms of air conditioning being used, the food wastage that is being created during that event and things like that. So this will help us to become more sustainable. So in that sense, we can see that there is a big value of using technology. At the same time, the business events itself, in terms of managing people, managing the visitors, understanding the different demographies and the different interests of the attendees, technology is giving us big opportunity. And also making it easy for the participants to participate in these kind of events.
Now, Dato', what's driving the growth of MICE and also BE industry?
I would say one of the most important thing is our location. If you look at historically, since the 15th century, Malacca was already a center for ships coming from Africa, from Middle East, from India, China. They were coming together and trading in Malacca. Although they did not call it a business event, but it was a business event. Mm-hmm. So why was that? Because of our location. So we are in a strategic location in terms of ability to bring together and facilitate. And that's the reason Malaysia is a trading nation, a global trading nation. And also the diverse culture that we have. So that is really driving and making it attractive for global events to be held in Malaysia.
I see. Now, Dato', in what way has the industry, particularly MACEOS, contributed to Malaysia's economy?
One of the most important things is that in Malaysia, MACEOS is the official representative in global bodies such as UFI, is a France-based body which is representing the Global Association of Exhibition Organisers. And there's another organization known as ICA, which is the International Conference and Congress Association. So MACEOS also sits on those bodies to bring in the latest trends at the same time, ensuring that the Malaysian exhibitions and convention industry follows the world standards and keeps up. One of the other things that we are doing is actually certified training. And we are also accredited to global certified training, such as CMP. CMP stands for the Certified Planners for Meetings. And the other one is actually Certified Exhibition Managers. So we are providing these certified trainings so that the capacity in our country can be built to be in the same level as the world standards. Another area is actually technical trainings. I'll give you an example. You go to an event, you might have seen those trusses on top where those lights are there, huge truss lights, and all kind of speakers are being held there. But to put up those trusses, it requires specialized safety training. So we also make sure that the industry follows these global standards and training for that matter.
Now, Dato', before we go on to a short break, we'd like to impact and values created by the business. We're going to talk about that in just a bit, but we're going to go for a very short break, and then when we come back, we'll discuss more with our guest here for today, Dr. M. Gandhi, with regards to this particular topic. So stick around.
The recently concluded Malaysia Business Week 2024 or MBEW 2024 emphasized the importance of business events in boosting the economy. One of the key highlights of MBEW 2024 is the Asia Convention Alliance Association Forum, ACAAF, now in its second edition, becoming the epicenter of dynamic discussion and convergence of minds. The forum featured an impressive lineup of VIPs and industry leaders from ACA member countries, including Thailand Convention and Exhibition Bureau, Thailand Incentive and Convention Association, Taiwan External Trade Development Council, and Seoul Tourism Organization.
Our expert talk session presented by STO, TITRA and TCEP as they share how technology drives meeting experiences enhancement at the intersection of sustainability, the business event and technology with sustainability in the APAC region, and innovative approaches to sustainable gastronomy through local sourcing and a catalyst for change.
Another key event running in parallel with MBEW is Event Expo 2024, co-organized by Malaysian Association of Convention and Exhibition Organisers and Suppliers, MACEOS. Event Expo 2024 feature workshops, talks by industry experts, and a career fair for students and professionals exploring opportunities within the industry.
And this activity is a platform for the benefit of those who are providing service to the business event sector. Because in Malaysia, there are some of very good providers of event for the event industry. However, there's no platform for this. For example, those who are in the designing of booths, designing of events, organizing of conferences, conventions, even registration system, venues like KLCC, they're also venues throughout the country.
Business Events Sarawak, B Sarawak, also participating in Event Expo, aims to promote and solidify Sarawak's position as a premier destination for business events through its Tribe Legacy Sarawak campaign.
We also would like to advocate, we would like to actually advocate where look at business event not just to bring economic impact, but also some legacy impact in terms of sectoral, in terms of trade and economy, and also in terms of environment, in terms of community, that we see business event just bigger than just economic impact.
Meanwhile, the newly established Sabah Convention Bureau aspires to elevate Greater Kota Kinabalu as a leading MICE destination, leveraging its recent popularity among tourists from top Chinese and South Korean cities.
Of course, Sabah is well known for a beautiful nature city by the coast and all that. So we hope we will be able to garner and attract more conference goers as well as meetings to come and experience what Sabah, especially Kota Kinabalu, what we have to offer in terms of business events.
The
convergence of business events, technology and sustainability stimulates innovation and cooperation among industry stakeholders. Through sharing best practices, adopting advanced technologies and cooperating on sustainability initiatives, businesses catalyze positive change and moving towards a more sustainable global economy. Jabata Robert, RTM.
Welcome back to On the Table. Now, before we proceed, I would like to ask Dato', we have in the studio right now Dato' Dr. M. Gandhi, the president of MACEOS, also known as the Malaysian Association of Convention and Exhibition Organisers and Suppliers. Now, Dato', what are the, of course, what is the background towards it? And can you tell us a bit more about MACEOS?
MACEOS was established in 1990, and this association is the only organization that represents the entire ecosystems of the exhibition and convention industry of Malaysia. So it includes all the major venues, purpose-built exhibition and convention venues such as KLCC, in Penang, in Sabah, Sarawak, and also all the professional exhibition organizers, the professional convention organizers, booth designers and builders, other kind of suppliers such as technology suppliers for the business event industry, audiovisual. If you look at the entire ecosystem of those in the business event industry, the members of this organization.
Now, that's interesting enough to know that there's lots of nuts and bolts involved in what we say, just to simplify it and humbly, it's an event. But then again, there's so much things that goes into events that we hardly see this in a naked eye. So which is coming to my next question. What are the challenges faced by the industry that you foresee, Dato'?
I think one of the very important challenges is actually in making sure that there is a pipeline of capacity in terms of people, venue spaces, because we are growing very fast. If you look at in this region, the business events industry is growing faster than the GDP. And it's also one of the fastest in this region. For that reason, the requirement for trained people is going to be very important. And that's where MACEOS is coming in. We are creating a MACEOS Educational Academy, a business events academy, where young professionals can become professionals in ensuring that the standards that they are using in organizing events are globally accepted. So that when there is an international convention, those convention organizers from overseas, when they come here, we are able to speak the same language. So the people capacity is very important at this point in time.
Next, Dato', how is the Malaysian government supporting the development of the industry, and what is the initiatives that are in place already, and what works?
I would say it's very heartening to see the Malaysian government's support for the industry. For example, today, there is an event, by one of our members in partnership with the Institute of Engineers Malaysia. The Deputy Prime Minister, Yang Amat Berhormat, Dato' Sri Fadila is inaugurating the show, and he went around visiting the international attendees and also speaking about Malaysia's program related to sustainability. So these kind of active participation from the highest level of the government, from Prime Minister, it shows the business events are important. And another very important point that I can see is that, for example, the state of Sarawak. The state of Sarawak is utilizing business events as a tool for nation building. For example, most recently, there was an event that was organized on green hydrogen, where global participants came from all over the world, and scientists and those with knowledge came to share. And that helps to build their objective, because Sarawak has an objective of becoming a green hydrogen hub. And how could we use business events as a tool to take that to the next level? And that's how I see business events, not in isolation, but in completion, in nation building.
That's quite interesting as well. Now, what are the trends that are shaping the future of MICE that you see?
I see that major trend is making sure that we are regional. Because in the past, you could do national events, but ensuring that the events are regional, international, that's also extremely important. And another trend is actually making sure that the events are sustainable. When global convention organizers come to Malaysia, they want to make sure that the venue that they operate in is sustainable, the energy utilized. They want to have a report on the carbon footprint. And those kind of trends is becoming more and more important in this whole area.
So that's only one section of it. Is there any other trends that you foresee evolving here in Malaysia?
I see Malaysia is utilizing technology very effectively in business events. When I say using technology, it's seamless. So participants, wherever they are in the world, they can participate using technology, using simple mobile phone, the app, and even making it paperless, the directories, and making, for example, the matchmaking. Once they come here or before they come, they would like to ensure that their schedule is all done, and using AI to help them to organize their schedule.
Wow.
And this is making it more efficient and ensuring that their time is fully utilized. Because these visitors to business event are business people. They have limited time, and limited time they would like to accomplish the maximum. And how we are going to engage technology to make it more efficient is becoming extremely important.
I see. And we were discussing off air where we were using AI, artificial intelligence, to help in this in the event. So we're going to get back to that in just a bit. So we're going to go for a little short break with our guest for today. So stick around with more interesting topics to talk about with our guest today. Stick around. Now, welcome back to On the Table with our guests here for today. We have a very special guest, Dr. M. Gandhi, the President of Malaysian Association of Convention and Exhibition Organizers and Suppliers. Now, we were talking about AI in events as well. We were talking about trends. Now, we'd like to refocus again with regards to government initiatives to helping out events here in Malaysia. Now, what are the initiatives, once again, that has been implemented, and we foresee that it can help the development of industries here in Malaysia?
If you look at the organizations like MACEOS, which is the Malaysian Convention Exhibition Bureau, and there are also national or state level bureaus like the Business Event Sarawak and the Sabah Convention Bureau, and there is a Penang Convention Bureau, PSEP. All these bureaus are playing a very active role, especially in bidding for international conventions. There are international conventions that roves all over the world. And these conventions bring thousands of delegates, and some of these delegates are high spenders. And they are every time looking for a new location. And Malaysia is an attractive location because we are in the heart of the growth area of ASEAN and Asia as a whole. And this is where the convention bureaus, both the National Convention Bureau and the State Convention Bureaus, are helping us to go and bid, working with local associations to bid for these conventions to come to Malaysia.
How does this help also in terms of our community?
I would say, if you look at it, business events, the multiplier impact of business event is significant. First is immediate. We did a survey and a study of all our members. In 2023, there was a total of 3,184 events that was held. And these events attracted 4.91 million visitors,
Wow.
both local and international visitors to all these events put together. And the economic impact of these events put together is 3.9 billion ringgit. This is money spent on hotels, because these are high spenders, business events, people who are within local or international. And they also spend money on entertainment. They also sometimes even bring their family. At the end of the event, they go for a holiday. So if we put together, the immediate economic impact is 3.91 billion in 2023. This excludes trade done and investments that follow. Because these business people, when they come, some of them are coming because of this business event for the first time to Malaysia. And at the end of the event, they're going to buy. I'll give you an example. There's an event known as MIF, the Malaysian International Furniture Fair. And that fair, the last edition, attracted 6,000 international visitors from 102 countries. And these visitors bought furniture worth of nearly 3 billion ringgit.
Wow.
You know, and so the amount of jobs that it creates after that. And just to organize that event itself, there was a requirement of more than, there was already about 2,000 over people involved in organizing that event before and during. So if you look at it, it also creates a lot of jobs, trade shows and conventions and exhibitions.
Speaking of jobs, it would probably attract the youth in particular as well. So what has been so far in attracting the youth, aside from business associates and all that? What about the youth? Is there any position whereby you can attract the youth into these kinds of business events, attract them in a way?
I think this is a very good question. As a matter of fact, next month, we are having, our industry is presenting to 6 university students. We are inviting university students for an intern program. So we are going to present, all our members or key members are going to present job opportunities in the business events industry.
I see.
So even before they graduate, they can become an intern. They can check it out, what role they can play in the business event sector. And young people are extremely important, especially with the technology being introduced into the business events. And also it's very exciting. I myself, I started when I was quite young, but I think I'm still young now.
Yes.
And,
young at heart, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when I remember, the thing that really excited me is that the people that you meet, the diverse, because the good thing about the business event is that you are a neutral position. You are not a competitor, but you are involved in that industry. Everybody will speak to you because and then you share that knowledge, and then you are listening to the latest trends, latest knowledge during business events. And you meet global audiences from the highest level of knowledge, developers, to political, to other sectors. So that's where I think, and you're facilitating that integration, you're facilitating that interaction. So for a young person, this is a fantastic exposure and creates confidence in one.
That's great. Matter of fact, for those of you who are just joined in, we were talking about events here in Malaysia, the effects of using AI, sustainability as well, and how things are affecting our economy. So with regards to this, and in continuation of that particular answer that you have given, Dato', in light of ASEAN, Malaysia chairmanship next year, how do we actually leverage on our chairmanship to further impact business events industry, to set a benchmark in hosting a series of events and meetings throughout the year?
Business events can be engaged and can be leveraged for nation building. One of the things business events could do is actually, I call this private sector engagement. Of course, there's going to be ASEAN meetings happening throughout the year next year, both in terms of leaders meeting, ministerial meeting, and also senior officers meetings. These meetings are on the government level, but this business event can help to engage business people in ASEAN at the same time. Let's say there is a ministerial meeting on health. We could co-locate, or later part as a follow-up, bring the health professionals in the ASEAN region together. If there is a ministerial meeting on energy, so we could also have the energy industry people coming together, a ministerial meeting on defense. defense industries in ASEAN can cooperate. So this is where the business events can play a role, very important role in making sure that we trickle down the policies that is set in ASEAN to go down to the business people and go down to the people. So it really benefits the whole nation.
Now, that interesting fact that you mentioned about nation building, how does that, can you actually expand on that nation building for those who are just tuned in? Can you expand on nation building in our events?
If you look at business events, one of very good example I would like to give is Germany. After the World War, they wanted to build back the nation. And what they did, one of the first things they did was actually to build exhibition and convention centers. They brought the world together. They also used it to showcase what Germany can export. And that helped to bring materials, technology, knowledge. Because these business events, for example, will bring experts. Another example very close to home is, I was mentioning just now, is Sarawak.
Yes.
And one of the things I admire is the Premier of Sarawak. And he's very clear that every business event that happens in Sarawak, has to also be in line with their nation's objectives. And one of our members recently organized an event in line with the government's requirement on green hydrogen, and which brought the world together, in Kuching, thus able to bring that knowledge and investments. And at the end of it, there was a lot of MOUs signed, between Japan and Sarawak, Korea and Sarawak, so that they could invest in the green hydrogen sector. So these events are actually, in a way, I like to use the word catalyst. A catalyst is something that you add in a chemical reaction that speeds up the reaction. And actually, business events is exactly that.
I see. Now, that's about all the time we have. But before we go, Dato', is there anything you'd like to say and mention through our viewers right now, before we let you go?
I would say business events, is a good program for young people to come and participate and to make it as a career for them. And at the same time, to look at the longer term view, it's very important. Because business event also requires infrastructure. One of the matters that is extremely important is venues. And we need to plan early. Right now in Malaysia, if you look at it, because of the growth of business events, some of the venues are already wall-bound. It's fully booked. And so I think it's time also at the same time for the government to look at over the next 5-10 years to start working on building new venues, larger venues, so that we can be more competitive in this region.
That's very exciting.
Yes.
All right, so thank you very much, Dato'. That's all the time that we have for this evening's On the Table. And we're talking to Dato' Dr. M. Gandhi, President of the Malaysian Association of Convention and Exhibition Organisers and Suppliers, or MACEOS. A repeat of this episode's broadcast can be viewed again at the same time tomorrow and subsequent days on both RTM Click and MyTV's Berita RTM channel, which is also live streaming on YouTube as well. All right, so till next Thursday, we'll be discussing on another topic of interest. I'm Otto Othman, signing off. Good night.